Never forget, it's your support that keeps not only everything great about One Piece airing, but anime wins in general. Consider pledging today if you'd like to contribute to the cause and keep everything ticking over. Well, now that little view was a proper nice treat to kickstart the video, wasn't it? It's so simple, but I cannot help laughing at little jokes like this. It's up to you if you believe me or not. Luffy jumps right in with, "We believe you." And Usopp gives a chest slap. Very happy this was brought up so soon after they made their appearance, as they're one of the most interesting things in the anime for me right now. For context, Nami points out that it's unlikely to be the clouds causing the day to turn to night suddenly, and this was everyone's very rude and collective reactions to that. Also though, just like in the last video, take a win for Oda coming up with explanations outside of the supernatural to explain away the events. That's extra levels of smart, that is. God, I can never get enough of Luffy's awesome habit of boiling down complicated things to simple explanations. Also, no obligatory Chopper is so friggin' cute win! We got us a One Piece happy dance! Nami pointing out the obvious once again to these guys and throwing a few knocks to get them to shut up again. 吹き上げる海流ノックアップストリーム。この海流に乗れば空へ行ける。理屈の問題だ。わかるか？どういう原理で海流が空へ上がるの？私たち今までそんなの聞いたこともなかったし。The first time we get a proper explanation as to how it'll be possible to get a ship from the water up into the sky, and I am so ready for it now it's not even funny. Getting a further explanation of how it works and what the science is behind it. Plus, this time some visuals to help with matters too. そのまま何に引っかかることもなく海面に叩きつけられた。全員海の木図だ。Two wins. Firstly, the danger that stupidly hadn't hit me that if they mess up, it could mean the end of them, as they won't exactly just float back down. But in addition, even though it's not real, I didn't like seeing the ship getting destroyed. It's like one of the crew. Don't do me like that! Usopp hilariously trying to turn this into a laughing matter for Luffy to give up on, and when he sees it's likely not working, he gets all serious in the background about it. You can't tell me that wasn't difficult for him to say. Now looking back, I'm really impressed that all of the damage caused to the ship has actually ended up being made a focal point of the story since it's been referenced so many times now. 確かにな、あの船じゃ、たとえ新品の状態でも無理だ。My God, he acts like the ship is his legit son the way he defends it. スピード、重量、強度、あの船じゃ爆発と同時に粉砕して終わりだ。Also take one for this twist, it opens up a serious possibility that they'll get another ride, at least for this saga to get up there. I'm hyped regardless. Okay, I didn't expect that. It's another win. They're going to strengthen the Going Merry, and in many ways that's better than a different ship for one arc, or a change entirely. Let's go! 明日の昼だな。行くならしっかり準備しろ。間に合うじゃねえか! Too much to show, but Usopp goes on saying we only have till tomorrow, and how many months? No, years will it be till the next jet stream thing, and he says this. 月に5回の周期から見て、ノックアップストリームの活動もおそらく明日だ。Credit to Usopp, yes, he doesn't want to stay there, worried about the ship as he is, but he does come up with some fair arguments, but of course it's all logically explained away by him. Nice visual seeing these two like this, feels like opposite ends of the spectrum. Love how Oda adds these bits in. Robin is on the ship and would otherwise miss food, but who else would consider adding a moment where Chopper is sent by Sanji to get her? I don't know many. Nami actually being kind here, after a brief joke, but most of all it's Oda's ability to focus on different crew members from saga to saga. This here is clearly progression for him. This funny but mostly sweet scene of Usopp immediately following Nami's advice and going to say that he's sorry for doubting him. Usopp playing one of his jokes here. He did it, I think, in one of the movies too, but most of all, it's everyone getting along and eating, drinking, and having fun that I just love to see. Win number like 4 of me saying I'm so happy Robin has joined the crew. I find it so elegant and lovely, I must admit. Love how things are brought back to being more serious, aided by that beautiful music and the again sad notion of his ancestor's execution, and the last mysterious thing he said about gold in a skull. Giving that a win purely and simply because it cast a big old smile across my face when he said that. This may have been another thing I thought on the surface was a little thin, but leave it to Oda to continuously build upon these elements as he goes, as we hear more from the diary. Also though, credit to packing in a lot of detail into the room between all of the characters and the food and the drink and everything else, and also adding simple animation to them all too. Only making things more interesting and full of mystery, adding that these small golden bells were found under the sea. This after the description of a massive gold bell heard in the forest before. Literally, Robin then comes along with a big sexy brain and makes it even more interesting. Love her for that. Oh my goodness, this is one of those times where I'm literally as confused as the crew are here collectively. What's going on all of a sudden? Did I miss something? To give context to the last one, he wants them to grab a special bird, and for this reason, there's no navigation in the Grand Line. Essentially, anyway. And this is something I totally forgot about. Yet another, and hear me now, brilliant and random statement from Luffy, who does this often to Zoro. He says the birds have an internal mechanism so they can head south, and he says this. I also really like the fact that naturally wildlife has adapted over time to the weirdness of the Grand Line, whereas humans are still catching up on things using tech. One of Usopp's best most recent lies for how silly it is. Oh my goodness, he's so adorable! Man, I really enjoy how they suddenly decide to do this like a proper team out of the blue. They really are such a great crew. Credit to them putting animation into that. Quite a bit too, that wasn't really needed. This is becoming a thing now too, and it's funny but also quite sweet that he does try to rely on Sanji quite a bit. Also Zoro a lot too for protection. I'm not the biggest fan of spiders, but that did legit freak me out. Damn man! He makes for such an interesting character sometimes, I swear. Freaked out by everything, yet didn't mind this at all. Such a great example of the seemingly effortlessly great job she does voicing Luffy. Loved hearing that. Dear Lord, I am such a fan of casual conversations like this, discussing if certain bugs are better than the One Piece. By the way, trust these two to go bug hunting and totally forget about the bird for a while. Another time where it's great to have Chopper around for the ride. Yet another unique looking ship. But also the fact that these guys are facing off against one another whilst the crew is busy in the forest. Genuinely not sure how this is going to go down, quite nervous. Some genuinely nice animation on that dodge and slice through the tree. Actually kind of sweet in a very using him kind of way, that she uses him to defend herself against the bugs. They actually put a fair bit of animation behind this, and that's half the win. The other half is how this old man quite easily defended himself and looked good doing so too. Very quick compared to the first one, but nice to see these two cleaning house too. I know I already winned him, but to me that was too cool of a counterattack to not get a win. Plus, nice job using the reflection at the end there to boot. Seeing what his ability actually is for the first time, so take a win for yet another Devil Fruit ability on! But also because now the battle is more fair, which is bad for us, but certainly makes things far more interesting for our heroes. Normally that wouldn't get a win, but I just thought it was really unique watching him use the guy to propel himself into the next attack, and my brain's working out how he'd use it versus Zoro or Luffy. And then likely one final win as he does so again, wrecking their damn ship at the same time painfully, and then hits this guy as well. That was very one-sided, and the poor going merry. Big chop! Basically hurts to see that, the big guy taking the hit so the old man doesn't have to. That's a real team right there, and they genuinely care for him. To his absolute credit too, this guy is trying his own special move to save the guy. Bless their hearts! It's funny really, before they came to this island I saw them more as a pair of strange guys, but after seeing them bond with the crew, it hurts to see them getting taken out like this. I dare say this is the kind of view that Luffy hates and strives against, but all the same, glad it was mentioned again. Yes, exactly what Luffy would say if he was eloquent. He'd say it in a bit more of a simple way, but you get his point. You gotta have guts to dream big as a pirate. I mean, come on, she's literally the GOAT for her excellent use of her Devil Fruit ability, isn't she? The way she always seems to not make a big deal out of using it too. She's great. Imagine cutting to them all being cared for and missing Sanji getting them out of the water, Chopper rushing to help and turning big to physically aid him. You'd miss all that. Seeing all of the damage to the boat, and as hard as it is to see, it leaves me going, how the hell are they even going to get it fixed? Not to mention, get to the Sky Islands, it's a JoJo situation. This old man is awesome, he's full of sorries for losing the fight, and then even still wants to try and get their ship ready in just a few hours. He's crazy! Luffy! What I enjoyed the most here is they don't care about the gold. It wasn't theirs, they care about their gold having been taken by some scum, and I love them for that attitude. Usopp basically says as much just before he then replies with this, telling them it's their problem. But again, it's nice to see the prior win worded out by one of the crew. If I'm being real, I legit can't believe he's saying they can make it seaworthy for the journey, not to mention repair the current damage. I'm blown away and they get a win for it.
Oi, Luffy.
How Zoro remains so damn cool walking around and finding this before pointing it out to an angry Luffy who clearly knows whose it is, but Zoro, man, he's so cool how he operates in life.
手伝おうか。
See what I'm saying about those levels of cool that are almost reaching deadly proportions? Want help is all he needs to say, but Luffy is happy to bust heads alone now. So awesome! Luffy can seriously have his own cool ass moments, can't he?
1億
This guy seeing Luffy's brand new wanted amount.
すまん。本当にすまん。俺たちがついていながら情けねえ。
These moments show how much Luffy takes into account all of the things he's seen and heard and how they motivate him when he's angry. Like all the diving he did, all the hard work, all gone. Not running on the angry spot! Showing that because for me it was pure beauty seeing all of their horrified faces when knowing the amount of the bounty on Luffy and Zoro's heads.
嘘だろやべええれえやつを笑っちまった俺たち顔を覚えられてねえかなここにいるとまずいぞ
Take one here too, because for me it just told me how much stock people put in these bounties. They're generally seen as a correlation between bounty amount and strength/influence of the person. Interestingly though, Bellamy pushes back against this prior wins notion, stating some pirates have faked their own posters to appear stronger, but he'll soon see what's up.
当人の弱さを目の当たりにしておきながらこのざまだ情けねえ
Obviously I hate this guy, minus his awesome voice actor, but wanted to give him a win because you can easily see how he gained a crew. He can use his head and give a good speech, to be fair. Everyone relaxing after his speech and then this happens. Found it funny how they spit out the drinks, but more so, I'm hyped beyond belief to hopefully see Luffy kick ass. Was going to include that with the last one, but no, that's sick and looks equally as sick. Might seem like a silly looking ability, but to me that was absolutely sick how he used it to power himself up there like that. This is basically Luffy's answer as to why he acts now but not back during the bar incident. Now it's directly affected people that he cares about, so he takes action.
バカバカしい。よく見ろあのチビを。どっから見りゃそんな凶悪な男に見えんだ
I think it's so damn good how Oda really started to concentrate here on the whole bounty system from a pirate standpoint. We've seen it loads of times from Marines, but this is different now. The start of the battle proper is nothing short of awesome. It goes to show how Oda can make any ability into a genuinely great looking fight with fast paced action. 2 max wins for this so far. Not sure how they did that distance shot from zoomed in to out and it's such a high quality. That attack and landing though. Honestly, I'm being real now, I'm shocked by the level of animation during this fight and unique looking views likely right out of the manga. Shocked! So good looking! You love to see it, the ease and lack of damage at which he gets up, so easily that it shocks everyone. Even this attack is well done with the furious looking pace of it. I mean, what else can you say except that that was brilliant? I love the fact that he also stood still and smashed into him just before getting hit, so he hardly even looked like he tried. That was actually, poetically speaking, really nicely done with him losing his grip, and then he gets to again see their wanted posters and the high amount for himself. The fact that purely and simply, this is what Luffy cares about most right here. Couple wins, you gotta give props for the amount of animation going into the rebuilding of the ship, or fixing it up I mean. Not to be outdone, I'm proper happy to see them all working on the ship, meaning they're all doing alright and recovered.
いくらチョッパーに手当てしてもらってるからって不死身だぜまるで。
And half this win is Chopper actively helping them out whilst they work, and because I wrongly assumed it'd be just the three of them, but makes far more sense that their entire crews are helping to do it.
喧嘩すんなっつったりしろっつったり行くなっつったり行けっつったり
The way Zoro can sometimes let Nami get under his skin in spite of how cool he always is, but I love that dynamic between them. It's totally unique to everyone else in their relationships.
やられた？別にあいつら俺たちの前に立ちはだかったわけじゃねえだろ。
Zoro basically explaining why he believes, and he's right, that Luffy said not to fight them back then.
何それバカあんた。
うるせえなどっか行けちゃうね
Also though, win number 4615 happening again right away. I love it.
あったあった。
Nice to see Luffy back to being his cheerful self, but most of all, how he proves what Zoro said to be true. He could have attacked them all, but chose not to. They're not in his way.
おい麦わりどこ行くんだ
どこって？
Luffy, I don't think, has ever physically done something so cool looking, just showing his fist like that.
そら。
Unexpected follow-up though. Take my win.
この者たちが桜花七部会の一角、さあクロコダイルを倒した張本人。
Yes! The fact that we're seeing him again right here means it's looking more likely he may play at least some small role in this saga, or we're being teased relentlessly.
この小僧どもが世界政府を揺るがすほどになったか。
Nice to see this actually, because Zoro and his progress is directly tied to him in a couple of ways, but it's good to reference their overall growth as well and make it tangible after having faced him. A totally unique looking building suddenly!
死者を使った間接的なものではありますが、しかし白ひげと赤髪の接触はあまりにも危険です。
それは確かにな。
Obviously not sure yet what they're talking about, but a huge win here for Oda once more expanding upon the law in such massive ways, since this is the world government! Also though, a bunch of new characters being introduced. Makes for another interesting approach to the story when you consider that Luffy still isn't looked at as a good guy in spite of taking down Crocodile who was doing bad. They're still after him. I know it's only two of them so far, but a huge win here for starting to introduce us to them at long last. Like, that to me is so damn cool. Feels like the world's really opening up.
だったらよ、さっさと話すこと話して終わらせちまおうぜ。
Yet another totally new and unique Devil Fruit ability, and this one is even more unique than normal, going all Darth Vader.
くだらん真似はするな貴様ら戦争でもしに来たのか
You know the drill, just wanted to shout this guy out as sadly his voice actor did pass away in 2013. Also have another because at first when you hear of the warlords kind of working with the government, you think they're partners or lapdogs, but here totally destroys that idea I had in my head.
俺は来る場所を間違えたかな鷹の目
Ah, that's so cool. He is playing a much larger role this saga, I bet. Let's go! That entrance though!
いや、傍観というのも少々違いますが、あわよくばぜひこの集会参加させていただきたく参上いたしました。
Dude, he's like Ahsoka from Hunter x Hunter and yet another totally new character. This is so awesome.
ほら白ひげだ大方の予想はつくエースと黒ひげのことだろうよ
Ryuko's father in Kill the Kill wasn't the biggest role in the world, but everyone in that anime voiced their hearts out, I swear. He also passed away in 2018.
上がったら帰れあなたれとは話したかねえよ
Oda just casually making One Piece more and more entertaining like it's no big deal. Like, what on earth happened to him?
あほんだら
Damn, man, that sumo! Dude is freaking massive! That introduction! Hell yes!
こうなるだろうとはまあ思ったが。
Super awesome getting to see Shanks again too. He's important to Luffy and his future, but obviously we've known him forever, and he's also important to the overall story too. Some really unique transitions being used this episode. Take a final win here because it made me understand something cool, that the story is not always so focused on Luffy and the crew that we got a whole thing about stuff going down outside their story.
ゲットつったってんじゃねえぞ。俺は今むしゃくしゃしてんだ。やかましい。
Ah, that was so sick! He's super strong too! I love the voice as I previously mentioned, and that attack was sick!
長ラフィットとはこの町で落ち合う予定だったんじゃねえのかはぐれちまったようだなまあそれも巡り合わせだ
Showing this because, like with Bellamy and his mate being Hunter x Hunter pals years later, these two would appear together in Season 3 of My Hero Academia. So cool!
その通り運命とは常に人間の存在価値を測る
Nobunaga from Hunter x Hunter. That's the samurai guy from the Phantom Troop, by the by. Art style change is half the win, the other half is that I'm hyped to see more of them. Clearly they're enemies, but still unique designs on them all too.
大体帰りは金塊持ってるんだから重くて遅くなるでしょ。そういう計算できてないのよ、あいつの頭では。
What I liked about this is twofold. Firstly, she knows he's coming back. That's some trust that he'll win. But also because she knows he's slowed down by coming back with the gold. The moment Luffy returns to the crew and the ship. God, I love this anime a stupid amount.
これ見ろ、ラクレス見つけるのに結構時間かかっちまった。
The fact that he stopped first to pick up a bug.
うわ、すげえな。
Oh, hot damn, the ship looking fully repaired and more badass than ever before with all these new additions.
あいつらがやってくれたんで。
Luffy effortlessly joining them in their strange little dance or salute or something. The farewell these two share initially being a touch awkward, likely because Luffy saved the day and he failed to protect his home, his friends and the gold, but it was a manly goodbye for sure.
黄金鏡はノーランドが思い描いた空想の産物。猿山連合軍たとえ何が起きようとそいつらのために全力を尽くせ
But then him doing this, likely spurred on by thoughts of not allowing his mission to be destroyed by that scum, and in the process, this makes for a much nicer goodbye in the end.
小僧ほらここでお別れだ黄金鏡も空島も過去誰一人ないと証明できたやつはいねえ金をありがとうよおやっさん黄金鏡はきっとあるぜ
Should have known Oda would find a way to give us a perfect goodbye in the end like this here. He's gonna keep diving to try and prove one way or another if the Golden City exists. It was nice.
麦わらのルフィ1億ベリーの賞金首
Feel like it's worth a win for me thinking he was totally a good guy when it turns out he's seemingly anything but.
なんて言ったんだ。南じゃない方向を向いてお前たちを困らせてやるって。
For some reason, it made me laugh more than I have in a while that he said he's going to face another direction to screw them up, when we know he can't. Oh man, that's so good. The sweat building on his face as he tries so hard to face north, like it's no big deal.
まあそんなに焦ってもしょうがねえからさ。楽に行こうぜ。
Him always being so laid back is quite nice to see as everyone else is getting worked up.
なるほどなよしやろうども気を抜きながら全速前進
Just showing that as I found it hilarious that he gives the order to go full speed ahead whilst relaxing. What was to me kind of a weird thing at first is now pretty awesome, that they're picking up sea monsters and various underwater events taking place using the sonar. Half the win is for the nice animation on all of the ships, they put a lot of work into that clearly, and the other half is for seeing Robin remaining so calm through it all. The pile of smokes just makes me think that he's likely seriously nervous for them and for his friends, obviously getting back safely, but it's nice to see him think back on their time together too. It's very quick, but Chopper being so happy with the image he's got in his head of what it will be like. the sheer size of it, man! Real good looking CGI they used here for the day.
じゃあおめえらあとは自力でなんとか頑張れよ
Aww, for some reason I thought they'd be coming along, but I'm glad they'll be heading back to the old man with good news and continuing to help him and keep him company, I must admit.
こんな大物の話なんて聞いてないわよ、詐欺よ詐欺
That Nami described the whole thing as being a scam.
こんな大冒険逃したら一生後悔すんぞ楽しそう
This does make me like Luffy even more, how he's always so focused on adventure in spite of their worries, but I'm sure he also has trust in his friends who helped them to get this far.
何消えたなんでだ
何が起きた
That was really weird all of a sudden, but credit to whoever picked the sound effects there, with everything going all calm and the water almost sounding very shallow. The building tension is great as everything but their voices are silent, but I enjoyed how well animated the 3 zoom out shots were too.
何おい待て俺のもあるだろよく見ろよ
How they're not only not bothered by the high bounties, but someone like Sanji is annoyed that he doesn't have one yet.
1億聞いたか俺1億だ
6000万か不満だぜ
See how happy these two are? Even Zoro is smiling wildly. What a rare sight that is.
覚悟しろ
They're getting 2 max wins for this, and not because it's the most amazing visual I've ever seen, but because it could have been so simple in comparison and instead was legit badass looking and huge. Nice to see that these guys are slowly managing to make their way through the storm and away from the updraft to safety. Also, I couldn't believe that it could be seen from miles away. I was just blown away by how casual Zoro and Robin looked, like it was just a perfectly natural thing happening. Chopper's amazing reaction!
この船の航海士は誰
ナミさんです
Nami coming up with a great plan to get them to the top and being an awesome, valuable member of the crew doing so.
いける飛んだ
That is so sick and only adds fuel to the fire started when I mentioned win number 4669. These 4 good looking zoom out shots, but especially the first one. That was magical, that one was.
あの上に一体何があるんだ石庭雲飛ぶぞ
Luffy in this moment capturing everything that I think makes this anime truly a wonderful experience. It's good how something like this was factored in right at the start, that the air is getting real thin and or it's due to how fast they're going up into the sky. Either way it's good.
参ったぜ逃げられた
Color me insanely shocked and surprised at how anti-anime this ended up being. You're telling me these guys who said they're going to attack Luffy just got left down below and that's that? I'm shocked!
参った何が起きたんだ全員いるか
Same thing here as a few of the prior wins. Could easily have made it a pop up to the sky. All done. Instead it was a very serious journey, taxing all of them to an extreme degree.
なんだここは
The incredible look at the ship in a sea of white clouds. Just there. I legit can't believe that it's only the 3rd saga in, and yet we're getting such a wild adventure like this one in the sky.
雲の上なんで乗ってんのそら乗るだろ雲だもんよ乗れねえよ
Luffy acting like he's a super knowledgeable person again.
なんとかしろ人工呼吸だ
よし俺はナミさんと人工呼吸だ
How can I possibly pass by and not give a win for this scene?
どうやらここは石庭雲の中層みたいね。
まだ上行くのかどうやってだ
それはわからないけど。
Again, just as in win number 4681 and so many prior wins, it hasn't been made simple. We got here, there's islands and people milling about. No, they're not even high enough yet, it seems.
海は海さーはははは
honest, like Chopper, Usopp totally knocked me back with him choosing to dive into this without even knowing how it works. Could have fallen all the way back down. Very brave. It's really nice that when he doesn't come back up, they all begin to panic right away and Luffy tries to grab him. Guided to a degree by Robin, was nice to see that level of concern all around. Damn, is it just me or does her ability not just get more and more awesome? Finding out that you can legit swim through the clouds and end up falling back down. She is seriously the best. She was able to make arms out of Luffy's arm and pull him back in. I tell you, Oda had some crazy good ideas for her ability. Movies were good, but this is next level. The lore just keeps on expanding. There's these massive creatures in the sky too. My word, how giant is this world if things like this are possible? I need to calm down. Zoro being freaking legit! Sanji being freaking legit too!
これが空魚じゃない？ノーランドの西にあった奇妙な魚。
Trust gorgeous Robin to remember something she read in a book like a perfect human being.
ソテーにしてみた。
これうめえ。まだ検証中でしょ。
Yes, so quick to eat it.
島はどこだ？お、船。船だ。おいみんな、船！と人？
Chopper being adorable and looking for islands, but most of all already coming across a ship, making my mind go 100 miles per hour thinking about who they are, how they got there, how they live, etc.
おい、どうしたチョッパー？
Plot twist already? I just wrote the last win and it gets wrecked. I'm genuinely so shocked. I gotta lie down.
人だ。誰か来る。雲の上を走ってるぞ。
I'm genuinely so shocked and still have yet to lie down. This guy being super strong, I will faint.
そこまでだ。
Clearly there's now introduced some kind of internal conflict between those who live in the sky. I'm more than blown away. I'm super blown away. Super great storytelling from Oda Sensei.
我が輩空の騎士
That awesome and very visually appealing introduction. As always, a win in his honour too. Passed away in 2021, a good old age. He voiced tons of Dragon Ball characters, judging from his mail page. Rest in peace.
ならば仕方あるまい。ここは世界より7000メートル上空の白海。
Very simply learning more about where they are exactly so far, slowly feeding us that oh so tasty lore.
さらにこの上層の白岳海に至っては1万メートルに及んでいる。
Normally, I wouldn't drop another win right after for the same related thing, but learning there's another whole thing further above them is insane to me. I love that kind of thing.
ワンホイッスル500万エクストラで助けてやろう。
何言ってんだおっさん。
Learning that he's offering them protection, but also that guys like the one before are basically bandits attacking those who make it up there. This really is a whole new world.
お主らハイウエストの頂からここへ来たんじゃなかったのか。ならば島を一つ二つ通ったろ。
I'm sorry, this world building is way too good for me to not pop multiple wins onto it like this. There's another way to get up there. This is stupidly good. I thought it was also interesting and worthy of a win when he mentions that. In fairness, going by the other route, they definitely have lost people. Their way, though, was all or nothing.
まあ確かに俺がいてこそだった。
Usopp's first lie whilst in the sky.
我が名は空の騎士ガンホール。そして相棒ピエール。
Feels like such an awesome introduction to the saga with this music playing. He's granting them aid as well as he deeply respects how they got there and the guts it took too.
嘘、素敵。ペガサス？
そう、ペガサス。
Would feel real silly to shoot by this moment without showing it.
ちょっと待ってルフィ。これは緊急事態に助けてくれるってやつで
know how they did it, but it caused me near physical pain when I see them dragging on skin, like Vivi did to Usopp's nose during the Drum Island arc. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this feels like a new song, and if it is, it's the perfect time to roll it out in this place. I said Usopp was the king of reactions in this, but Chopper making ground with moments like this. I think I'm going to end up feeling shocked by pretty much anything that is man-made like this up here. Shocked, I tell you!
いや案外俺たちはもう全員死んでんじゃねえのか
I will never, ever grow bored of reactions like this from Chopper and Luffy to a lesser degree here. This saga couldn't get much more bizarre if it tried! Interesting turn of events. This happened after they made it clear they couldn't pay the 7 billion fee to get through. They plot twisted me a second time in a matter of 25 seconds. It's actually taken them up further, not stopping them. What the hell, man? Now from her words, it's like she wants them punished. I'm so confused, but take my win regardless.
どうなってんだこれまるで帯みたいな雲の道だ
Oh, yes, going without a recap this episode to make it longer. Sanji's lucky day! The awesomely done animation on the ship floating its way upwards here. It's naturally not done to the same degree as the last episode, but it's still really in-depth clearly, meaning Oda tried to make it a seriously big deal what they're doing before and here. 2 wins. First of all, I'm so happy they've legit found land up here. The whole idea behind the saga still blows me away. But also the look and feel of it too, being truly unlike anything before it really.
彼らは200年も前にこの景色を見ていたんだわ。
That ship that fell onto them was viewing these sights 200 years ago. Wow is all I can say. What a start to a saga.
上陸だー
Not running on the Sky Island spot.
俺も
100% adorable. It so feels like they're a real crew of proper family or friends, nakama if you will, when you see things like this. Chopper now so at ease and happy to play like this. This is what I adore about Zoro. He says to Luffy, should we anchor? He doesn't say yes or no, so Zoro casually goes and does it after weighing up the options himself. Legend! Not to be forgotten about, I'm happy to say this, the bird is then set free and hopefully goes back down to the forest. Take another here as they address it too, with Zoro saying he'll survive up here or likely go back down himself eventually. I do like how Oda takes care to add details like that. Makes me feel better.
流されもせずに同じ場所に留まっていられるものなのかしら。
Loving One Piece as the 2 girls get changed just makes me think about other anime where they wear the same thing for years seemingly, and then we have this. Well, I think this win is rather self-explanatory.
航海や上陸が冒険だなんて考えたことなかった。
As I said before, this is a big deal for Robin because outside of filler arcs and movies, she hasn't been with them for long. So when she says things like this, it means something.
おお、これはまた不可解な花も咲いてんな。
Two things. Firstly, I hadn't considered that we'd get to see various different plants, maybe food and animals and stuff up here.
いい感じ。ここなら海軍も追ってこないし、羽を伸ばせる。
But secondly, Nami made a great point here that I also hadn't thought about. The Navy won't be bothering them for a while. That's what I'm talking about! New stuff!
すまん。
There's your new animals win I mentioned. Seeing our first proper person up here at long last, wondered how long it'd be. Being nice to animals is always a win. Smoker's voice actor. Originally I was going to move past this, but the fact that Nami brought up the tech and how it was in the diary she read definitely made it worth a win. It's totally unique too, the boat thingy.
空島料理か。俺にも手伝わせてくれ。
Always great how characters move within their character boundaries, such as Sanji having a thirst for all things food, and so right away wanting to be involved in the cooking here. Trust Luffy to immediately do this when he uses it for the first time.
沈んだ。ダメか。
Again, another 2 wins. Firstly, it was interesting to learn that Luffy sinks even up here in these clouds, like down below.
なんでお前まで飛び込むんだよ。空島怖い。空島怖い。
Secondly, I thought it was the height of adorable that Chopper jumped in after Luffy, even after knowing this fact.
確かにコツがいるわね、これは。デリケートすぎてあんたには無理よ、ルフィ。
Nami looking so good whilst riding it though.
おい、ナミ！おっさん家にすぐ行くから早く降りろ！
Oh god, that made me laugh so much, as it's a rare instance where Luffy is proper jealous.
ああ、雲切り場ですね。これから加工するための雲を切り出す現場です。
I am genuinely so loving the building lore of this place already. Getting a visual representation of what the deal is with the clouds. A bloody fantastic job is done here for animating the crew at a serious distance whilst maintaining a high quality.
おいルフィ、何してる？
波のやつ、なんであんなスイスイ。沈め！
He's so insanely petty like this, but I love it. It's really cool of Oda to give them different looking pieces of clothing.
ザップなアホー！
いや、なんでやなんでやなんで。
That.
ウェイバーの動力はこっちです。これはちょっと小さめですけど、原理はトーンダイヤルと同じです。
なるほどな。風を吹き出して走ってたってわけだ、あれは。
Again, 2 wins, but totally justified. First up, we learn about the dials and how they work, how there's different kinds doing different things for them. Second up is this music, totally struck me as having such a lovely RPG vibe to it, like the first Trails games or something. The food legit looking unique to pretty much everything else we've seen. A final win for this glorious looking set piece, looking absolutely massive as Nami stumbles upon an area she mustn't go, or anyone else for that matter, where God lives. Darth Weirdo, Mal Liao, Nick Wyndham, The Elementator Wars, Christopher Willis, Emmanuel Gonzalez, Fancy Turtle, Kepan, Mini Masher, Marquez, Nazomi, Orekeeper, Otter A. Bodonisi, Steelers, The Epic Commander, Bird Without a Word, Brandon Creer, Brian Bayot, Cameron, Christian Tuasa, Commander Chris, Doggos for Life, Dragonstorm 35, Aaron Winters, Guru, I Am Here, James Tafoya, Yor Edvinson, Kevin Elston, Cumfroik, Kylie Webb, Lisa Marie Timp, Luis Minito, Magnus, Mr. Mansu, Nightly Winter, Peter Milligan, Ruby Rose, Sataka Yari, Zion 44, Sean, The 100s, Tiger Lily Warrior, Sumi Bito, Ajoka, Alexander Schwartz, Ali 50, Amadillo, Brainless Ben, Cecilia, Cedric, Cloud Garden, Dante Soul, Dark Lord Bloody Soul, Def the Kid 123, Devon, Dragon Defender, Esso, Garrett Vermish, Gibbs, Hoof to Lowe's Ritter, Israel Caldera, Jason Davies, John, Juffa 6263, Kelnock, Kevin Nelter, Kevink 102, Knuckle Duster, Kai 158, Kyle Jones, Laxor, Laxus, Liam Gagati, Lifty, Lionel Schultz, Marvin, Matthew Blansett, Michael Lewis, Modiverum, Monty, Mudini, Mr. Firecool, Natsu Dragneel, Nick Monaco, Nick Pell, 9028, Ollie the Mighty, Oliver Smiley Reacts, Oscar I. Lopez, Owen Halloran, Q Flash, Ryan DeVries, Sarcastic Truth, Snow, Stan, Storm 970, TRS, The Danish Muggle, Thrasher 340, Vernon Hogan, Will Sass, Willy Man,